Hello, just still trying to sort this thing out. I don't know if there's anybody there yet, but welcome along. Let's see what we got. Let's do a bit of copying. Ooh. Ooh. Let's see where we are. Okay. Let's have a look at our event logs. Hey! Thank you for letting me know that you're there. I'm just still trying to get a little bit organized while I wait for some people to join me. Have you had a good day? Hope you have. It's been a bit of a bizarre one here, really. I'm sure that I'm not the only person in the country a bit confused by it all at the moment. But we will get through it, I'm sure. Let's just get rid of that. Let's just do that. Let's do that. There's so much to do. So many things to do. I thought you'd just sit down in front of this and just start talking, but apparently you've got to press all these buttons. It's like being like in the future. I guess it's the future, really. Yeah, type. Let me know what you're doing. Let me know what you're up to. I can't believe Victoria's not here yet. Well, Sharon, what's going on, girls? What's happening? I'm going to try and see if I can send this link out to my mate who's continually asking me what's going on. It's a link. Let's just get to it then. That's that message sent now. So, this is all exciting, isn't it? Jason messaging me on my phone. Thank you very much. Good to see you, Steve. I'm just going to wait a couple of minutes. I don't know who else. Hey, Robert, Dawn, Nathan, mate, Nathan, how you doing? I've just got to get my phone to send this link off to someone who's from the old days where they don't have Facebook. Who doesn't have Facebook? Don't be worried about this candle behind me. It's not going to do anything. If you can still hear me, if I can get, hey, Anthony, if you can actually hear me at the moment, because I'm not getting any sound there. Mr. Tunker, wow. Andy, God, this is all exciting. It really is the future. We'll get cracking in a moment. All right, my Tasha's watching. That's the main thing. That means the signal is reaching downstairs, everybody. Wasn't too sure about wearing the glasses because I thought, do I look like a newsreader? I had hoped to have loads of sponsors on the wall behind me, but I've covered up the grey. That was the attempt. So how's everyone doing? Everyone surviving through this apocalypse? Are we all enjoying ourselves? Anyone got any tips, techniques, or secrets that they want to share? Please pop them in the comments section, and then we can see if we've got any ideas that we can share amongst ourselves. Most important person is our Charlie. Sort my hair out. Thank you. All right, I'm sorting my hair out. There you go. Can't help it. You can't polish a piece of something. See, Dawn, I need to sort my hair out, mate. Where are you? It's not working. Yeah, so that's the end of week one for many people, week two for a few people. But it's about week three for us because we've been self-isolating from quite early on when we first got wind that all wasn't well. It's just a bit of a fiasco, really, isn't it, for everyone? I don't know if anyone's got any tips or suggestions. I'm going to be sharing mine in a few minutes, just waiting for a few more people. Dylan, all right there, pal, how's it going? And of course, Cherry, my sister. Nice. So we've got people from Scotland on here now, from across the UK. Ellie Jarman, wow. Rhiannon, it's just, mate, guys, if you look in the comments box, you'll see Rhiannon, who is one of the most incredible people on the planet. And if you want to learn about tenacity and willpower, that's the girl to go to. What she's been through the last year or so, absolutely incredible. Ricky Ticky, nice. Val, my sister, good to see you. Lewis, oh my days. You're a dad now. Nice that you joined me. And Jessica, of course, good luck with the baby. Big Pat Rollick, another one, wonderful man. You need to find these people in my comments box, guys, because these are really all good people. Some of them astonishing people. Andy, of course, my most intelligent friend, my astrophysicist. There you go. Who would have thought a boy from a council estate would know someone who studies the planets? Anyway, shall we begin? Tough times, aren't they? Tough times. I'm finding it difficult. I'm not going to lie. It's not unbearable or intolerable. It's because I'm locked up with a beautiful woman who loves cleaning. So all I've got to do is stand still, and it all takes care of itself. But I know it's hard for some of you out there. The two Nicks, Farmer and Nick Jones. Wow, man, I can't believe how many people. Jennifer Robinson. Charlie Byers in the house. Not mate. I'm trying to sort you out on my phone right now. Oh man, the Davidsons. Colin, mate, been lovely to see you in person. And Rob as well. And Mr. Mason. Hope it's all is well there, bruv. So, what was I going to talk about? Well, I thought we would go through it in stages, really. What do we want during this whole crisis? Hello, America, to my American family. Thank you for joining us. Always good. You can see I've got my KIF poster on the wall behind me. For those of you who don't know what that is, I'll explain that later. We're in the fear zone at the moment, people. We're still in the fear zone, and so people just still grabbing everything they can. People think that it's going to get worse, so emotions related to fear and anger going through all of us because it's uncertain times, and people in a crisis, we don't really behave at our best. When you see films about the Titanic, there's always people playing in the orchestra. They've clearly found the brandy and the whiskey. Then there'll be people getting onto the lifeboats, pushing people out of the way. People stepping to one side. Rusty, Daddy Rusty, good to see you, bro. And Jeff Stevenson, wow. Guys, Jeff Stevenson, a very inspirational man for me. One of the people I modeled myself on. When people say who your comedy heroes are, he's one of them. So please do look out for him. He's traveling across the world as we speak. Dougie, oh my goodness, look at that, we're all joining in, mate. Northern Ireland turned up, brilliant. We now have Northern Ireland, Switzerland, America, Scotland. Wait for Canada to wake up. But as I'm saying, I'm John Ryan. I'm just going to be talking a little bit about how to survive in this crisis that we're going through. I'm not a practitioner. I'm not a clinician. Don't take my advice if you don't want to. But, you know, I'm getting through it. And if I can help in any way, then please do let me. So we're in the fear zone. Like I say, everyone's panicking, just grabbing whatever they can get their hands on. People complaining. Any message they get, they just forward it straight on. Everyone is hooked to this, what I'm calling corona porn, where they just can't get enough of it. You're watching the news every day. My beautiful lady that I live with has turned into an Irish woman who starts our days with, do you know how many are dead now? Never thought I'd hear those words. Izzy, my hero, ladies and gentlemen, Izzy Newman, a nurse who looks after my son. Not in a nursing capacity, although I'm sure she's taking care of him when he's had a few too many. And Paul Eastwood, thank you for coming along. Connor, King Kong, the next big musical genius in the country, just joined in. And Craig, of course. So what do? We're in this fear zone, and we're all kind of a bit unsure of ourselves. What you got to understand is that we're all going to start doing weird stuff, just weird stuff. Anyone having any mental dreams? I'm just losing a plot with my dreams. I've had a dream that I was in charge of the Irish dancing under 16 World Championships. We got beaten by the Russians who cheated. That was quite a whatever the word is, passionate dream, I guess, because I wanted to kill this Russian guy because he put on a ringer. My Ryan, my boy, and Steve and Joyce, thank you for joining. I had another dream where I owned a oboe shop. I fixed oboes. My favourite one, of course, was the dream I had where I got conscripted into the Navy, but I was too fat for the uniform. So I had to carry my uniform around on my arm and show it to people. like ID. Rusty, I was waiting, Daddy Rusty, in 40 years, mate. I still remember Rusty once sitting me down and explaining to me how in the future we were all going to be given a barcode. We were going to be injected with it, and Big Brother, Babylon them, yeah, was going to be able to track us by using this. Now, this guy was telling me this back in the 80s, so you have crossed my mind a few times recently, Rusty. And of course, Rusty's dad, one of the main influences on my early years. If it wasn't for Rusty's dad, probably would never have gone to university. So he still lives on with me, bruv. Kate, nice. Kate Smurthwaite, lovely. Yes, in the Navy, in my vest and pants. Thank you very much. Wayne White joining us. Thanks, Wayne. I'm just at the moment still touching on the fear zone about how we are all living in fear and panic. And there's a reason for that. It's because basically in our brain, this lovely little thing called the amygdala, do correct me if I pronounced it wrong, it's in charge of our fear and our flight. So when we're scared, it lights up, pumps out chemicals. Our body then thinks we're going to have to fight or run away. So chemicals pumping around us. What do? We can't run away because we're self-isolating. So what do? We have all these pent-up feelings, all these emotions, all these chemicals flowing around us. And you know what? You got to let them out somehow. If you're locked up with your partner, if you're on lockdown, that's unfortunately who's going to get it. Now, if you're aware of that, sometimes you can just stop and go, oh, mate, sorry about that. I don't normally want to kill you, but today, the way you're blinking, it's really winding me up. We've got to be honest. We've got to be honest and realize that we're humans, we're animals, we're at the moment running on emotions. And so it's about what can you do to deal with them. We're born, I believe, and there is some research to support it, to suggest that we're thinking we're going to live in caves. We are beasts, we are animals, we are meat. What happens is when we're not living in them caves, we don't need some of these emotions that we've been predisposed to have. So there ain't no saber-toothed tigers anymore, but our brain still thinks there's saber-toothed tigers. When we're making these chemicals and these emotions ready to fight, if there ain't no tigers out there, what are we going to do with them? We're going to turn on the people that we're with, of course. People who are self-isolating on their own, I appreciate it's very difficult for you as well, because you've got no one to bounce off, no one to talk to. However, people who are living in relationships got to be difficult. And if you throw kids into the mix, it's got to be even harder. What do you do if you're living with someone that you don't like or you have trouble with? You've got to work a way around it. You'll notice that murder rate's gone up. They're now starting to find people are hurting each other. You've got to kind of take stock of yourself, really. What can you do? You are meant to feel anxious, meant to feel. Sean Durkin, born as Bin Laden, very good. Helen McNulty, are you in Australia? Dawn, no relation. Leslie, good to see my American family back in the mix. I think that we need to realize that we're going to wake up in the middle of the night. We're going to have these dreams. We're not working, so our brains aren't as stimulated as perhaps they usually would for those of us self-isolating. What do? You've got to embrace it a little bit. You've got to avoid some of these positive people. I see people who are posting about how they're getting up at 8 and they're jogging 15 miles, learning 5 languages, writing a book, and painting a house, and inventing cures for everything. When really you just think, come on, man, I can't keep up with that. So don't compete. Take it at your own pace while we're in this fear zone. Andy Chris, mate, and my Bill and Ash just joined us, everybody, which is just wonderful. Two of my favourite people in the world. Talking about the fear zone, and what can we do? We can just realise that we are reacting as beasts with all these chemicals pumping around us. It's all right, you know. Day one, people have plans. You know, I'm going to get up and I'm going to run a marathon. By day 3, they're drinking wine for breakfast and feeling bad. Don't feel bad. Whatever you, this is water, by the way. This is not a pint of gin, okay, or rum, Marissa. It's no rum. You've got these chemicals pumping around you, and you are gonna get envious, you're gonna get annoyed, you're gonna get snappy, you're gonna get short-tempered, because we're people, we're human. What do we do about it? You know what the first important thing you've got to do is accept it. Just accept that we're struggling. We got different ways of communicating now. Imagine being self-isolated back in the day when we were growing up. Oh my gosh, tsunami. Mate, tsunami, please be nice in my comments box. Tasha, tsunami's on, quick, get around there. If anyone needs a really fantastic pastorer, Dave Johnson is your man. If you want to sponsor me, bro, that'd be fine. It is tough times here in the fear zone. For those of you just joining me, Katrina, wow, so many lovely people. It's really nice that you've all kind of taken time to come listen to me, really, especially those of you who used to work for me, get paid to listen. Double O Durkin, my hero, good mate. So we're all on our own journey. We've got to understand we're on our own journey, and that is life in general, people. You're on your own at the end of the day. Oh, mate, Richard, good for you to join me, my friend. Hope all is well with you. We're on our own journey, and you've got to ignore people who are negative. So we've all had these kind of beliefs that we're going to clear out our cupboards, we're going to clear out our drawers, going to clear out under the stairs. Eventually, Tash, I'm going to clear out under the stairs, all right? So I'll keep my hidden stuff. Hello, Catherine Webb. It's lovely to see you. And Charmian, right, I've got to keep breaking off here because people are popping up. Charmian is one of the greatest storytellers you'll ever meet in your life. Please, if ever you get a chance to go and see her performing, go do it. Nathan, that's very honest of you, my friend. You haven't slept right for the last week. First day of furlough today, still working up to then. Keeping the energy going for everyone. Nathan, mate, you know yourself. Most important thing we've got to do, you've got to get a structure. I know it sounds a bit kind of touchy-feely, but you have to have a structure. You have to have some kind of routine. Because in the fear zone, we're just reacting off gut instinct. We're just grabbing what we can. We all think we're going to drown. We're not going to drown. We're going to get through it. And if you do get the virus, you know, there's other things that people can get. It's a horrible, horrible situation at the moment. But we've got to, Shirley, thank you for joining. Jenny, mate, my Jen, my plan B. Nathan's got 3 kids at home. Right, let's just stop this right now and take bets on how long it's going to take before Nathan loses it. Mate, they're angels, they're your babies. Remember, they were made out of love, my friend. I'm sure you're not thinking that when they're fighting over a PlayStation. But in the fear zone, like I say, it's about controlling and it's about controlling and understanding that you're going to have these emotions because your amygdala is driving you. Jackie, welcome. We're just talking about the fear zone a little bit and saying hello to people, really. In the fear zone, that security is what we're looking for. So you've got to get your stability by getting some kind of routine. You know, it's okay to stay in bed till 1 in the afternoon occasionally, but routine becomes habit, becomes lifestyle. And before you know it, you are going to be just losing it. You're going to be losing it. You've got to keep your brain organized. You've got to somehow understand that we need focus, we need structure. If I like wore a caftan and had long hair and was about 4 stone lighter, I'd be like, hey guys, you know, you've just got to take it easy, all right? You've got to kind of think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. Everyone's getting through it in their own way. Anyone got any great ideas, please stick them in that box down in the corner. Let me know. Nick Clark is suggesting pistachio nuts, which contain more natural melatonin than any other food. If anyone's struggling to sleep, eat pistachios with ginger tea 1 hour before bed. It works every time. Bear in mind that me and Nick very often have long conversations at 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning when we're on our way to somewhere. This morning, 6:30, we were talking. So this guy, as he does know what he's talking about, and he's a good guy. It's about understanding if you're tired, then you're going to get ratty and snappy and even snappier. When we're talking about kids, Nathan, 15 years in the army, this is a walk in the park. Good man. You've got building dens doing washing. You've got it, exactly, mate. You've got to get that, right? Katrina is a paramedic. Can we all just put a little Smiley face or a love heart in a box for Katrina. She's a paramedic, and mate, well done for all you're doing. I couldn't do it. Joanne, sticky back plastic. Good to have you in the house. Hopefully Marcus and the family are well. If you've got parents, wait, listen, mate. Don't start me on Wayne White. Nathan is suggesting Wayne White. Got a year old chap. Nathan, don't be taking advice from Wayne White, right? He's got a puppy that he runs around behind, cleaning up, and the dog is it's the stupidest dog in the world. It's been run over. It's eating a stick. It's fallen out of windows, fallen down stairs. Just no, no. Anyway, but having a dog can be very useful. It's very calming for people. Recommended very often by health professionals as a way of relaxing and lowering your blood pressure. But for parents, what you understand is with younger children, they're used to going to school and having all that energy and structure and stuff going on. Now they're stuck in a house with mum and dad who are barely talking to each other, and they've got no routine. They've got no routine. And let's be honest, Nathan, and other parents out there, you ain't teachers. How are you suddenly meant to understand maths? When my kids did maths, we had to go left to right. When I did maths, we did top to bottom. Now I'm seeing kids doing maths going at angles. I'm like, I couldn't do maths. But you're supposed to suddenly be a teacher and a carer and a cook and a chef. That ain't easy, my friend. But you know, you've done the army, bro. You can do anything, I have no doubt. But it's about not letting them kids getting into unhealthy habits. And that goes for us as well. Kids are going to be worried. They're going to be sad. They'll go back to behaviors they've outgrown. They're going to be snappy and ratty and fighting each other. You know, brothers and sisters are not meant to get on. Otherwise, they ain't never going to leave home. We can't all be the Osmonds or the Brady Bunch. So understand, kids are going to have that tension, and you've got to let them have that tension, and you've got to let them learn to resolve it and work it out. Nothing worse than as a kid being told stop or don't do that, because you've got to learn how to negotiate, and you've got to learn how to deal with your feelings, lose arguments, and also take rejection. For a lot of people, they can't do rejection nowadays. Everybody takes offense. Everybody has a problem. Haley Reard Christian has just joined the conversation, guys. There's so much talent in this box over here I'm looking at. Don't know if you can all see it. Haley, one of the most incredible singers that you'll ever meet. Beautiful lady, lovely. Nick Jones giving Katrina a clap. Nice, Nick. If everyone else could just give Katrina a little clap as well. So Anna Coates has just joined us. Classic example. Anna is stuck on a farm in the middle of nowhere. Personally, I suspect she may be a spy or some kind of villain plotting mass destruction of the planet. Stuck in the middle of nowhere with a dog, and that will help her get through it because a dog will keep you company. But I'm sure even Anna will admit times get tough because we are in the fear zone. What can we do to support our kids? Good question. You got to talk. You got to talk to them. You got to talk to your kids. Explain to them because every time you're watching the news, they're watching the news, so they're hearing what you're hearing. And also, you've got to mention it. There's a lot of nonsense out there, isn't there? There's a lot of people. Rusty, I'm sure you're doing this, bruv. Saying it's all about the 5G, isn't it? It's all like the radiation from the 5G that is killing all these people. Come on, it's whatever it's causing it. People are suffering it. At the moment, one of my closest friends is on oxygen in hospital. I'm sure he wasn't near 5G. Doesn't matter whatever has caused it. He's in that hospital bed. So what can we do to stop ourselves getting in that bed? That's where this self-isolation thing comes in. Mick Farmer, nice that you turned up, mate. Thank you so much. And Anthony, look at you and Anna all being friends. Funny Ricey was here though, eh? Anyway, I'm going for a walk every day. We have walked 5K every day for the last 19 days. So far, we've lost no weight whatsoever. So it ain't a diet thing that's doing it. But it's key that it's going to structure to our day. Get up in the morning, go for a walk halfway through the day and trying to do something. Try and keep away from that television, mate, because that's just going to rot out your brain. Rot out your brain. Colin Davison saying that his kids brief him on the news in their own way, and it helps them to understand it. But Cole, you know yourself, you've got to talk. You gotta talk to him. Sorry, Steph, do you have to lower the tone? Steph says she's missing sexy time and she can't go on the pool. Have you stopped dancing naked in front of the neighbours now, Steph? Um, Steph, if you want to type your funniest story in the box, I'll just shut up and everyone can read that and I won't have to do anything. Steph, again, hilariously funny woman, not a comedian, just very caring. Great job. Sexy time, can't go on the pool. Um, Justine Macaulay, thank you for joining. We are trying to talk about this fear zone that we're in. We've got to move from this fear zone into a place that I'm calling, it's a mental shift we've got to make into the learning zone, right? Once we all accept that we are locked down for 2, 3, 4 months. My sister Rachel just joined me. Thank you, sis, for joining. Beautiful lady. In January, I was meant to, this year, some of you know I do comedy on cruise ships. In May, I was meant to be going from Shanghai to Okinawa. It got cancelled second week in January. Now, you know, in the Far East, they knew this thing was going to go on for a long time. Cahill, thank you for joining. They knew it was going to go on for a long time. So we've had time to prepare, but unfortunately, we're not prepared. We've not been prepared. And that's why we've got to think about moving from the fear zone into the learning zone. For those of you who don't know me, there's one or two of you that don't have come on here because friends have told you to come have a listen. Thank you. I do work as a full-time comedian. I specialize in using comedy to raise awareness of men's health, mental well-being, and along with my beautiful Tasha, we have a company called Happy to Help You where we use humor to raise awareness of stuff. I'm not a clinician, I'm not medically trained, but I've worked in community care and I've got a bit of sense. So please don't necessarily take my advice as fact. But we are in the fear zone. Once we make that mental shift, that transition from thinking, I'm going to die, and realize, you know what, I don't need 200 rolls of toilet paper. I don't need 50 packets of noodles that I wouldn't even look at normally. Then we can move into the next area where we kind of learn from what's going on and maybe embrace it a little bit. Jennifer's asking, do I know anyone who's selling toilet roll? Charlie isn't prepared to buy a hand dryer for me and we're running low. Charlie, mate, get your left hand, be like a polar bear, get the water in your can, pour it down your bum, wipe it with your left hand, then use soap and water and wipe it off your hands. Rusty right now is on the floor vomiting, I know that. But what's cleaner? If you've got poo on your arm, you wipe it with a bit of paper, or you've got poo on your arm, you wipe it with soap and water. What's going to make it cleaner? Okay, so give it a go, mate. And you're Northern anyway, so what's it matter? If I've upset any of the young people on here with that unacceptable comment, just get over yourselves. You're going to have a mental crisis at some stage, if you've not had it already. It's going to come to all of us. We are not going to get through this without having some tough times, and that goes for me and everyone, right? We're all going through this together. If you've never had one before, it's going to be tough, right? I have never had any mental health problems in my life yet. I don't know what the future's got in store for me. Maybe this will be the thing that breaks me. But I just try to take small steps, right? And I know that people have anxiety. When you go through anxiety, it's an awful thing. It's a serious thing. It's not just having like an irrational fear. It's a debilitating condition that can muck you up. If you've never had it before, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. When anxiety sneaks up on people, it comes because their body is in that fear and flight mode, and the chemicals are rushing through you, and what can you do? So for all of you, just a little simple thing I want to suggest you try every day for a couple of minutes, right? You take a breath in, count to whatever number you want, and you breathe out for twice as long as you breathed in, and it really does reset you, okay? So if you all want to have a go at it, I can't believe I'm doing this, right? You take a deep breath in, see, feels a bit better, feels a bit better. You just need to take that little breath, take that little bit of time. So John Mason, how many lads have now been checking out Steph Martin Hall's page to see if they'd enjoy sexy time with her? Mate, what are you like? Everyone's going to look at that now. It's terrible. But if that helps you get through it, John, get through it. So long as Steph doesn't feel objectified. But Steph's a big woman, so if she does, she'll come punch in your face. Once you get your breathing under control, you can slow down your amygdala. You can slow down that chemical reaction that you're getting. So your body gets into this fear mode, produces all these chemicals, pump, 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 pump. And then your body thinks, what's going on? We're making all these chemicals. Pump, 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 pump. It's an ever increasing circle. Mike McLean, thanks for joining, mate. Those of you who don't know Mike, go and watch his hilarious exercise videos because they're rubbish. He is the funniest man, and it's all done tongue in cheek. Please do have it, yeah. Lewis, very honest, mate. Lewis, who I've known since he was 14, literally never had an anxiety attack before yesterday. Heavy chest, started overthinking, and they were short of breath and made it worse, and it would repeat for an hour. Lewis, mate, that's exactly what happens. You get a little bit of a panic on you, and then you're because your body wants to throw a punch or run, and you can't do either of those things. What you do is you take a little time out, just step back, take a breath. I know it sounds patronizing. Take a step back, take a deep breath, and breathe out for twice as long as you're breathing in. And then what happens is you'll start slowing down your breathing, and the panic ends. It does end, right? It's difficult, but once you get used to it. Problem is, if we don't manage this anxiety, we are going to end up getting a lot of problems, and there's going to be a lot of problems. Paul McAfee, thank you so much for joining, mate. Again, very, very funny man. You might have seen him on Channel 4 or just driving around Walthamstow back in the day, where he never lived, but I've always been convinced he did, mate. We've always talked about this. Just talking about little things we can do, Paul, to help get us through this. If you've got any tips, then please do share them with us. We're all trying to get through this together. I feel for people that are in a flat. So Rhiannon in a flat, no garden, can't go downstairs because she's on that government list whereby she's at serious risk of developing major problems. So what does she do? You start thinking, got to get to the window to get my vitamin D, because if you're not getting your vitamin D, that's going to affect your mental health as well. That's going to give you real problems. Rachel Ramsey saying that sixth form tutor actively telling students to know that they can contact the school whenever they want, all right, but they've got to respect the safeguarding guidelines, even during holidays when they're not paid. So, you know, everyone's trying to do their little bit. Andalib in Switzerland, what do the Swiss know? You've got mountains, you've got snow, you're Germans, you're like, everything is okay if you just follow the instructions. Again, nothing like a little bit of racism, just to ground the mental health talk into a bit of reality. Caroline, mate, it's great to see that you've come along. Right, Steph is now suggesting growing cucumbers coming into season. I reckon some wine has been opened in Steph's house. Liz Cantor, thank you so much for joining. Been a while, mate. Good to reconnect. Hayley, you've got a temporary job as a key worker, so you can go out and about. If I tell you guys, Hayley has been in Sister Act, she's been in musicals. She's honestly one of the most talented singers you'll ever see. There ain't no work. She's rolled up her sleeves, gone and got some work as a key worker. A little round of applause. Come on, guys. It's not patronizing, it's supportive. Round of applause for someone who's just doing something to change their circumstances. They're proud of you, mate. So you start feeling anxious, you start feeling a bit upset, you do your breathing, maybe that will help control. Nick Jones reminded me that I gave him that breathing tip when he first started doing stand-up. Always does it before he goes on stage, and it works. It does work, mate. You just take that breath and just hold it in for 5, let it out for 10. It does make a difference. Just resets you a little bit. And as we move out of this fear zone into the learning zone, where we're going to actually start thinking about learning to give up what you can't control. If you run out of toilet paper, use your hand, use a towel, right? Ricky making a good point. Is the anxiety true or real? That's a whole different ball game there, mate. Because let's be honest, some people have used anxiety issues or depression issues or mental health issues in the same way that back in the 80s, people said they had a bad back. But you know what? You've got to take people at face value. If they're saying it and suffering it, then you just got to accept it. Got to accept it, mate. And then deal with it however. It doesn't mean they can be rude or abusive or neglectful or hurtful or spiteful, but just means that you got to understand that it is something. It's a real thing, Rick. Um, Dawn, let's talk about self-employed. No, Dawn, we're self-employed for a reason. No one will give us a job, mate. So what can we do? Zero wages. Well done to those who've gone out to grab another job, like Haley. But you know, we're unemployable. Who's going to give me a job, right? If I'm working at McDonald's, I'm giving free food away. I got sacked from McDonald's when I was 18. That lasted 10 days. I just kept giving food away. Kiki, so good. We finally got the Swedes who've joined us now, all the way from Seattle. Um, I don't know what time it is there. What's it like? Tuesday or something? What time is it in Seattle, Kip? let, let me know. Um, I am sure. What's happening now? More gin needed. I'm sure that being Swedish, you've got loads of tips. If it involves giving me salty licorice, mate, we're gonna have problems. Karen Smith, thank you so much for joining. So we're looking at how we're gonna survive this, man. How are we gonna not just survive but thrive? How are we gonna prevail? People are great at getting through stuff. People are great at adapting. Rhiannon, like I say, if you look in the comment box, classic example of how to overcome adversity. Martasha, mate, was a Terminator, you can't kill her. It's about how you bounce back. Jennifer Robinson's asking, is anyone else finding that you find yourself, you losing yourself in the situation? Sometimes forget the times we're in and I'm comfortable at home. You know what, Jennifer, it is about actually enjoying that time. I know it sounds a bit daft, but it is about enjoying the time because you may not get this ever again. And if you've got young kids, you ain't never getting this time back. I know, Nathan, it can be difficult when there's three of them building their tents and climbing on your TV. You never get these days back, mate. And those of us with grown kids, no matter how proud of them we are, you know, sometimes you do find yourself looking back to those days when they were young. Enjoy the time when you're at home. Because those of us who travel, Haley and I have been all over the world, we get into a little routine. When we was in Egypt, Haley, I'm sure you remember, we'd go breakfast, sit, have a chat, do our work on our laptops, go get lunch, sit, do our work on our laptops, go do our shows. Get into that routine. If you've got someone that you can do it with, it's just even better. We had some great trips. Andy Ray now demonstrating his Swedish saltikatten. That's for you, Kiki. So what do? We go from this fear zone where everything, oh my God, I can't control it. What am I going to do? How am I going to, you've got to learn. You've got to learn that you don't need to eat all the food because we're all going to pile on the pounds. We've overstocked our cupboards and we're sitting on our backsides. So how is that going to help us in the long run? You're just going to feel disappointed in yourself and you're going to, I haven't spoken for ages, mate. No wonder, like, I've got to start talking more. Can you believe I'd ever say that? So well, we did, Haley, see, thank you. I completely lost track of what I was saying there, but what the hell. Yeah, so I was on this cruise and you do a week on, and the day I got on, there was a honeymooning couple, they got on as well. And we hung out a little bit. At the end of the week, I flew home, they stayed on. And then the following week, someone dropped out. So they called me up and said, look, can you go back on the ship? And I said, I was only on there last week, so there'll be people still on there. They said, no, you won't be performing till the third night, by which time the people who are doing a fortnight would have gone. Well, I got back on, and this gorgeous woman came up to me and said, hey, how you doing? And I didn't know who she was. And then explained to me that she was one of the honeymoon couple that I met on the first day, who in 2 weeks had managed to put on over just a stone in weight. So it's very easy in these times to just sit at home, graze, pile on the pounds. What are we going to do? Marie, my cousin in Ireland. Hello, how's it going? You said no. You well? What's happening? No. Have you got the tail on? So it's about realizing that we need to take a little bit of control. Susanna, my second longest friend, our sister. Nice of you to join us. A little bit of fear is welcome, helps you to stay safe, that's true. Acknowledge what message your emotions are trying to give you, and it might sometimes calm down a bit quicker. Also, journaling helps. No, I'm just in a breathing, Suzanne, I'm not. And anyway, at some stage, you're going to go, and having a glass of wine as well, right? How many times did you make dinner, you start cooking, and an hour and a half later, it's going to be bolognese, and 2 bottles of wine later, we just have a sandwich? Isabel wants to go on a cruise, but gets seasick. So, Isabel, you're not going on any cruises, because when this lockdown ends, you're going to come and live with me and bring my son with you, and spend every minute of every hour at Dover's. Okay, Jennifer, that's nice. What do I prefer if I had to choose, hands for feet or feet for hands? I always wonder, would you prefer vertical takeoff or running start to fly? You know, that's the real decision. Toria, my other cousin, has lost 4 stone in weight in a year doing clubber-size in our front room. Everyone's got their own ways of dealing with stuff at home. Basil, good suggestion. Wildlife in the natural world can help. I'm a big believer in that, mate. And we go on our walk every day around the lake, and it's beautiful to see the changes in nature. Getting back to what's real, Baz, good suggestion. Try to look at a robin or a greenfinch. I don't really know. I don't know, mate. I know that we've got some big dinosaur bird that comes down and tries to take my fish out of my pond every day. It's called Kevin. It's a heron, and he's about 6 foot tall. I don't like him, mate. Anyway, Steph, using healing hypnosis every night to boost your immune system. Good point. Good point. Dave Allison just joined us. David does a great show where you are the jury and you pick one of your mates to be the accused, and you try him. It's an excellent show. I'm sure that he will post some details about it at some stage. The thing is, we're all doing things to try to get through this, right? And when you get into this learning zone and you're out of the fear zone, you will start identifying your emotions and realizing, you know what, I'm picking up on the fact that I'm getting tense. I'm picking up on the fact that I'm getting wound up. And then once you recognize them, maybe you can sort of understand that they're part of the human condition. And what can I do to address them? It's about then thinking about, is this real? Is it a threat? Is it not a threat? What are we going to do if we're locked up for 3 months? Like Dawn saying, we're self-employed. We've got no money coming in for 3 months. What are we going to do? We're not going to die, are we? We're not going to physically come and take the house off us in 3 months. There will always be a way around it. But it's just understanding there's nothing you can do about it at the moment. Doesn't mean you have to give in, be passive, and stay in bed in your pants all day drinking wine at 7 o'clock in the morning. It just means that we will get through it. You know, we will get through it. And I can't be doing this whole, during the war, we had bombs every night. During the war, my granddad got pissed on Puccini and tried to sell wheelbarrows in the north of Ireland. So, you know, everyone got through it their own way. Hayley suggesting hill climbing with her dog helping her. It goes to the highest point, look down and across, feeling like she's on a higher plane. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. That's really good. Dave Allison suggesting his relief is squirrels. They're hilarious. We're all getting something, aren't we? We're all getting something. Like I say, we watch a bit of YouTube. We tend to try and have a couple of nights away from each other. So Tasha goes in the front room with her friends on house party. I go to the kitchen with my friends or some of Tasha's friends, have a chat. We did it a couple of nights. And then when we kind of next day, how was your night? And you've still got things to talk about. But if you're on your own and you're isolated, what do you do? How do you do it? Social media, use the phone. It's nice to see people using their phones again after all this time, isn't it? For so long, everyone's just texting and not really talking. As people, though, we need that human touch. Is anyone learning a language or doing a course or an online thing that they want to share with us? There's great stuff you can look at on YouTube and on the internet. So the National Theatre do a live play every Thursday. Playball.com do a musical Fridays at 7 o'clock and other times as well. And of course, the New York Met are showing opera, which is, if you've never watched opera, go and watch some. Mark Jacks has turned up I'm going to listen to some good comedians. Do you know any? Yeah, nice, good. So Steph is learning French. Mark, I will suggest to you that you look at Paul McAfee. Very, very funny guy. Very funny. And also, I was Dave Allen. Get a bit of Dave Allen, Billy Connolly, all the greats. And a coach talking to her friends every night. Rhiannon learning sign language and Steph learning French. John Mason's going to lose his head at the thought of you learning French as well, Steph. Connor Stevens, mate, how you getting on down there? Is it Brighton? Are you still down in Brighton? Just talking about how we can get through this and thrive, survive, and prevail. So, what do you do? Get that routine going. Routine becomes habit, becomes lifestyle. Get out of bed in the morning. Do not stay in bed all day. Do not. All right, Mark. You know, I accept. I accept. Got your name wrong. So yeah, get out of bed in the morning. It's a big argument. Should you make your bed as soon as you get up? Now, in our house, someone, I won't name her, but I think we all know who I'm talking about, likes to make the bed with an iron, so it looks like it's a witness protection bed. I, on the other hand, like to leave the bed with that kind of honeymoon look. Now, her thinking is, if the bed is neat and tidy and made, then it starts you up well for the day. But my argument is, during the night, we shed skin cells and sweat and chocolate digestives, possibly. So the bed bugs, they feed. Then when you put the duvet over them, it's nice and warm and they breed and have a party with the chocolate digestive crumbs and the crisp crumbs and the toast crumbs. And then they breed. So making the bed, you're just breeding bed bugs. That's what I think. Isabel reminded me that my boy is learning Espanol, parleo Espanol. So Isabel, what you have to understand is that when my son was young and we'd go on holiday to Spain, he would practice his Spanish, and it's some of my greatest memories of watching my son trying to order a Goffrey from the Goffrey stand in his best Spanish accent. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Haley, good call. Half on, half off when making the bed. But is that top to bottom, half and half, or is that side to side, half and half? Not really sure. Jennifer Robinson, why make your bed? We're in isolation. It'll only get rough again by 10 a.m. TMI, girl. We got to do something. We've got to do something. What the most important thing is to understand we're going to survive this. We're going to get through this. Rhiannon and Natasha are classic examples of people who've been through far worse and survived and prevailed, right? And they are. But they're women, right? And they're stronger than us. It's men. And apparently this corona thing is harder on men than it is on women. Where's the feminism there, girls? Where's the sister act then? Where's our support? So we need to get through it and realize we're going to get through it. You ain't got to eat all the food out your cupboard on day one. You haven't got to just do 100 press-ups every day. You've got to have some days where you're just going to sit in your pajamas and just doss and lie around. I would ask you to think about forwarding nonsense on social media. Just like all this 5G stuff. What is that all about, man? And my favorite conspiracy theory is that it was all started by Amazon bubble wrap, the Chinese people blowing in the bubbles. When you get your parcel from Amazon, it comes with a bubble wrap. When you pop the bubble wrap, the Chinese air comes out with the corona in it. What? Rusty, I'm sure you know that one. Nick Jones is saying Rosetta Stone are offering free French courses for 3 months. So it's all out there if you can take the time. But where are we going to get this motivation from? I guess the motivation comes from knowing that one day we will get through this. We will. And hopefully we're all going to meet up as well. These are tough times that we're living in. They're tough times, but you know, what can you do but embrace them and accept them? It's tough and it's going to get tougher. I think that if I wanted to sum it all up, it's about, like Ricky's saying, you've got to be kind to yourself. You know, be kind to yourself. Jennifer Robinson, what have you done, John, which is out of the ordinary for you during isolation? Can I tell you, Jennifer, honestly, I have walked 5 kilometers every day and it's killing me. Me and Tasha, and to be honest, a lot of time she's dragging me around and I'm like, oh, I can't do this, it hurts too much. But that's out of the ordinary for me. And also, you know what I'm doing is not working. So sometimes I always feel like I've got to be doing something. It's my thing. So I'm trying to write a book and I'm trying to put a presentation together. I'm trying to do Zoom meetings during the day. But what I'm also trying to do that's out of the ordinary for me, for most men, if we're honest, is I'm trying to phone people. I'm trying to contact other men that I've known for years that I ain't spoken to in a while, reconnect. I'm trying to show that, you know what, we're all in this together. Shashi Carter, thank you for joining. Again, one of the inspiring women that I've known in my life, that has helped me a lot on my journey this far. It's about thinking we could be like this for 3 months. In 3 months' time, you could have lost 2 stone in weight. You could have put on 2 stone in weight. You could maybe be speaking Spanish or be speaking French. You may be splitting up with your partner because you realize through this time you don't want them in your life no more, or you may be more appreciative. But in 3 months' time, we're all going to get through this. And what kind of person do we want to be at the end of it? That's, I guess, what you ask yourself as well. What do you want? What do I want to do? Is this a journey of self-discovery and self-improvement? It's just Baz saying, don't waste this time, learn. Yeah, okay. Carl Sagan, Brian Greene, Neil deGrasse Tyson. You see the bigger picture, makes you feel that much better. I don't know. I don't know. Andy Ray, thank you very much for listening to me, mate. Really appreciate having you on here. We all got to do something. We've got to do something. What that thing is, I'm not too sure about. But what we do is we will rejoin on Monday night at 9 o'clock. Over the weekend, I want you all to have a little think. Possibly, hey Darren, thanks for joining, mate. It's too late, we're going now. Darren, another example of a very resilient man, overcome life's obstacles, and he is a very entertaining human being. Think about it over the weekend, guys. See if we can come up with some ideas that is going to help us. On my post-isolation bucket list, Jennifer, I'll be honest with you, the problem I have is that I kind of do put all this into practice, and I've done it for years. So, you know, when you go like, if you don't like it, don't do it. Anyone on here who knows me will tell you, I really, if I don't like it, I don't do it. Sharon Walker, thanks for joining. Just talking about what's on my post-isolation bucket list. Yeah, I don't accept what I don't want. You get in life what you're willing to accept. Those of you who've seen me doing my talks on mental health will tell you I am a cat. I'm a cat. If I don't like it, I ain't doing it. I will walk out of a room, leave a party, or just switch off. I don't play social niceties. Don't pretend to like what I don't like. If I don't like it, I don't do it. I've tried to raise my kids that way. I've tried to encourage the people around me to be like that. Don't like it, don't do it. Don't put up with it. You get in life what you're willing to accept. And what's really nice, Susanna's made a really good point, is that we're in a point in history where the whole world has worked together as one for the first time. I don't know about that. It is a nice point to think about because on here we've got people in America, in Sweden, in Switzerland, in Germany, in Australia, Scotland, all coming together, all connected. We're all connected at the end of the day. I do really appreciate you guys coming to just listen to my nonsense for the last 50 minutes. Jennifer, very good, thank you. What happens when you put a dog, a car, and your wife in the boot? Brilliant. Yeah, Monday night, 9 o'clock. Let's come back and come back with some ideas, some suggestions, and let's have a really good weekend. Don't go out over the weekend. And if you do, if you jog, right, just don't run up on people and breathe all your germs all over them. If you cycle, give us a bit of space. If you're walking with your wife and 3 kids down the road, Nathan, don't walk in a row. Walk in a line, mate. You know, it's all kind of maybe one thing we'll get out of all this at the end of it is that perhaps we'll be nicer people. Joanna, Marcus is requesting I do a comedy set. Please make us laugh. No, no one's. I don't do that. It's shallow. It's too shallow for me. Um, Joe, it's really nice that you joined me, and Marcus and your beautiful kids. You know what? Stay safe, people. Over the weekend, don't go out. It's going to be a really hot weekend. Rhiannon has just got through her leukemia. She's one of these people, if you breathe on her, you know, the girl's got no immune system. Think about everyone out there that you're meeting could be in the same boat. Rhiannon is locked up in a 1 bedroom flat, like Rapunzel, and she ain't even got no hair to let down to have me come rescue her. So think about the reason we're going out. We're just trying not to kill the good people in the world, you know. Have a really great weekend, guys. And again, thank you so much all of you for listening to me. Monday, 9 o'clock, let's just meet up again and come back with some ideas. If you want, we'll even set up a little Zoom meeting so we can all talk and join in. I don't know, just trying to help do something. Have a really great weekend. Take care and stay safe.